I think one of the biggest problems in society is apathy.
Not enough people really take the initiative to do something.
So many of us complain about what's wrong today, but none of us really want to come up with solutions how to make things better.
Even fewer of us have ever learned the process of communication.
If you think about it, communication is what brings people together.
But few of us ever get together to discuss the issues
That can bring solutions and create love and consideration rather than rudeness and hate.
And that's why a show like The Point is so great.
It's just us.
Not a bunch of experts coming up with well-delivered, well-rehearsed opinions.
We're just ordinary people.
Discussing real issues.
That's the point.
the point.
The Point.
We're going to go around that, go to the educational system and how we're not putting the money there. And we're putting the money on the prison side and on the judicial system of making sure that we're not reforming and educating our people.
But why are we doing that? Because the prison system is one of the biggest businesses around. They just had something on Wall Street the other day. People are investing in these prisons. Well, if you're investing in prisons, what do you need? Prisoners.
Prisoners.
How do you get them?
How much does it cost the taxpayers? How much does it cost the taxpayers for one prisoner to stay alive for a year? $40,000 a year for one prisoner.
And you can send somebody to college, four-year university, cheaper than that. But they won't do it.
Our opinions are valid, and so are yours. Discussion is what will create a better world.
All of our opinions come from our hearts.
The point is to get people talking, thinking, and doing the right things.
One of my favorite topics was sex.
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 Not because it's kind of a taboo.
Because it just invokes so much conversation, just so much controversy on that particular show.
In maturity, sex becomes less important.
In maturity.
And you look for things more like
In maturity.
meaning.
In maturity,
and
after 40,
community.
He's saying after
Wait a minute, are you telling me after 40 years old you don't want to get your groove on? You telling me that?
Wait,
Well,
I'm saying,
I'm 75. I'm going to be doing mine. If I'm up there on a walker, I'm going to be like, get it on, baby. You know what I mean?
I'm not
After 40 years old.
I'm not saying it's still not a major motivating force. I'm saying that it no longer drives all behavior.
Okay.
If I accept your premise that sex motivates all behavior, I will accept that in an immature human.
Okay.
But after maturity,
That's a whole lot of immature folks right
that's
now.
a whole lot. There's a whole lot of immature folks. There's a whole lot of.
They still might be
lot of
immature,
them.
so be careful,
Whole lot,
okay?
Because if it ain't that important, how come who's that the boy
I ain't
tried to
say-
run for president?
I ain't saying-
He up there with his stiff arm, got that dinosaur arm, and then he's up there talking about, oh, I take Viagra. You know what I mean? That kind
$10
of
a
thing.
pill.
Come on.
People are starving all over the
Come
world.
on.
$10
It's got
a
to be
pill, so I
important.
can still get it up.
You've just made my point.
You're saying that all behavior is motivated by the sex drive.
I think it's got,
And I disagree.
I think
I disagree
testosterone's
with
got a
that
lot to
premise.
do with it.
I do a lot of things
Yeah.
in my life, in my behavior, that is not motivated by sex. You're telling me that you don't?
People call in and they say, hey, because of your show, my family's starting to talk now.
Do you guys think that the community and perhaps even the government has some responsibility and even the ability to regulate violence in the media?
Well, the government can't regulate anything, really, because it'll just create more bureaucracy and more lies and corruption. For them to have, like, the JFK files locked up still to this day is ridiculous.
They got them tomorrow. I got them at
you
home.
know,
They're in my house.
You got them at home?
They're in my
Well,
house.
Okay.
You know,
Okay, then we're safe now.
It's because him and his brother were doing Marilyn Monroe.
That's right.
And the CIA killed him because he knew about the aliens. That's why they can't tell the public.
Okay.
You might say that our opinions are valid, you might say that they're whack. But one thing's for certain, you're going to start the dialogue.
War, violence, is how we got here. Because if I'm violent, I live. If I'm peaceful, I get killed. It's that simple.
Yeah, I've been pretty peaceful and I'm still alive.
That's because you have the good fortune to live in America in the post-modern era.
I think that drugs should be illegal. We have to take
So you're against
responsibility. We
drug
have 1 minute.
prohibition, you're against gun control. You said that wouldn't help.
Guns are not what the problem is. I think it's the people handling the guns are the problem, okay?
An explosive topic that we had on our show was domestic violence and how it affects everybody.
Why does the person abuse? And why does the person in the abusive situation stay?
It has to do with control. It has to do with power and not having control and lashing out in the only way they know how, which is with physical violence. As far as why people stay in that relationship, my feeling is it's mostly economic.
I'll have to say I actually disagree with that.
Me too. Me too.
Good.
And when you're in these relationships, often the abuser is a very charming, very dynamic,
Yeah.
a wonderful guy. And he can be wonderful to you in some instances. And then all of a sudden he changes into a monster.
And I really think that it had more to do with self-esteem.
The good times ceased to be that good because I was always waiting for the hammer to drop. I think it was much more about what was happening in his life and his lack of success.
So even during your good times, you were still walking on rice paper?
Oh, God, yes. It was great because it also brought up some solutions.
The show on education is such a vital topic. What we teach our children and what we learn is what we will become.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what you expect me to do. But what I understood, what you expect me to do is pay more taxes in order to fund after-school programs.
Disagree.
I disagree with that too,
because that's not what I was saying. The government gets a lot of money and it's not spent appropriately. Just like in the defense.
But right now, it's a military-industrial complex that takes most of our tax money.
I think so much of the violence would not happen on the street if we had these programs back in place. And I believe that the parents need to be way more involved in the school. It is not the teachers and the principals and the schools' job to raise the children. It's to educate them and to give them a place to go to build that sense of community.
I think the most basic theme that runs through our shows is that of personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility. If we can help people to help themselves, that's what we're trying to do. And that is, after all, the point.